I have done all the patchwork pieces on a foundation of the fibers. That's what the back look like. It's just some parallel stitch when I stitch down each sections, and I'm planning to use this part as a flat, and it will look like the pouch will look like that. And I mark a middle point. It is because I want to do a bit of marking to do quilting. It's not technically it's not quilting, but decorative stray stitches. So I'm planning to do like all this going direction, and here will be like different direction. You will see I just love to make a bit of variation of the stitches. They are still the same straight stitches, but if you arrange them differently, then it will look differently. So every pouch, every bag has its unique character. So it's like that. So I'm going to here just eyeballing parallel straight stitches go in the same directions at two corners. I really love this hero marker. It doesn't need to mark and then wash off the marking, and it's such an energy saving option. So I do the marking all here, and here will be the same. Oops. Okay, so I decided to go like that. And here I will do like I slip my hand, I think this is but I will follow this line because it look more straight. Okay. This square, what should I do with that? Should I do let's say I would do like that direction, or I should leave it as that so I can put a snap button in, or I should go this direction. It's pretty hard to think about. I think I'm overthinking. Yes, I am. Anyway, I'll just leave it for now because I might do it in this direction and then like that and like that and like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So this is the flap. I want it to look stunning, and the rest of the body I might do it straight. I just would want to do this straight. Okay, so yeah, that's the plan. But I still want to get a middle line so I can have the marking be straight. It doesn't need to be, but when you do a bit of handcraft and you just can't help to get a bit perfection praise. Okay, so let's connect these two lines. Okay, here I first mark the middle line, so I try to have the even line on the left and right hand side. Recently, my daughter and her friend, all these 5-year-old children, start singing the Goldens. I don't understand why it gets so popular. And my daughter, this 5 years old, come home and say, "Oh, can you search the song in your YouTube, in your mobile phone?" And then she tell me something about K-pop, Demon Hunter, which one have pink here, purple here, that kind of thing, and what they do. I'm like, oh, hold on, what is K-pop? What is it to do with Demon? What they are doing? Are the K-pop singing? And like, but K-pop is Korean star. Why they singing English? And I try to figure out what this K-pop Demon Hunter business about. And believe me or not, I Google and then I search in YouTube and I watch many stupid video. Basically they just copying each other and have all the replay of the movie, and I'm still a bit lost, like what exactly going on. Why K-pop have anything to do with dinner? Why the dinner hunter has to be K-pop? What what like I think it's mainly because the old age that is a bit slow to understand and catch up all this pop culture. But I suddenly realized that the children are growing, and even you give them screen time or not, they eventually know these pop cultures through other children. So for our children, there's no screen time during school terms from Monday to Friday. So she only have 1 hours on Saturday and Sunday, probably have a bit more on the holiday. But we never, like, she always watch like ABC Kids, that kind of those Bluey, Peppa Pig, what else? Doggy, Ducky, yeah, that kind of things. And yeah, we didn't watch that K-pop Dinner Hunter, and we, as old-fashioned people, me and my husband, we don't listen to pop music. We do know there's a K-pop things going on, but it's just never in our gender to understand what exactly it is. And of course, we're not watching that. And suddenly, you kind of like was exposed to these cultures, and whether you like it or not, the children are catching that, and they really crazy about the songs and dance. And yeah, I even watched a video of dance from very tiny children, trying to copying the dance of the the characters. So things did change, whether you admit it or not. I'm planning to do all this parallel straight stitch using this pink white-ish threads. Is changing color, so I love it. It's beautiful. This one is very beautiful, so I would love to use all these with the same thread, and then I will work on this part later. Talking about the change, I know it's important, especially for people are getting older, to keep up with new things, new cultures, new technology. One that we can talk with our children with a bit of understanding. If yeah, it looks really dumb when your children, try to talk with you all this new stuff, and then you will say, what's that? I see this from my mom. Like sometimes my daughter will talk about things that she never ever see, or never in her capacity to understand what's happening. So it looks a bit awkward, like the child want to talk, but the old people don't understand what she's talking about. So it's like, yeah, yeah, I don't want to be that kind of old people. I want to be friend with my child. Oh, talk about that. I think I will quit. No, this is not. This is not that I should start stitching. See, when I'm talking, I'm probably not focusing, and mistake happen. Just like what I did at work. Sometimes we have a work meeting, and during the meeting I still carry on my work, but it's very easy to make mistakes. So right after the meeting I have to send to my boss, say, hey, can you fix that for me, because I make the mistake. I'm not really focusing when you are talking. No, I didn't say that. It happens that when I'm doing something that I'm not listening, and I'm doing something else, and then I make mistake. Yeah, it did happen, but yeah, I fixed that. Yeah. Oopsie. Yeah, so I know it's quite terrible to get old and not learning, and yeah, because your mind will become slower, and then you stuck in the old happy and old taste and refuse to understand things that never happened in your time. And I really don't want to be that. It just sucks. So yeah, so I get myself learning new stuff. Like what I do for crafting, I always try new stuff. If you been following, I try all sort of stuff, and I do try to open or trying to sell my stuff. I did try at acid, but it's a bit complicated to understand, and also a lot of editing have to be done in the computer. But I only use my computer to work, and I don't use my computer for anything else. And I think it is quite inconvenient that you have to edit your accounts and your stuff in computers, because most of the time I'm moving. I'm either like dropping up, picking off my kids, or moving around the house, working and doing housework. I rarely have time to just sit down in front of the computer and doing computer things. And all of my recording, everything that I do in my spare time is done in the mobile phone. So it have to be done in my mobile phone. And then I try some other way. I try eBay. I list items in eBay and see how it goes. I know it's free to list item in eBay. It just probably not gets is not a really suitable platform for handmade stuff, because it won't attract the right customer like Etsy. But the listing is free, so it's a good way that you testing, you know, your not selling skill, but the thing that how you organize your stuff. I don't have many things to sell, to be honest. Most of my stuff is work in progress or taking to such a long time. And I also, have to consider the postage. I want to cover the postage because we send in Australia. It probably, for item that's are small or flat or light, it doesn't cost a lot. It may be $5-7. I think I can afford it. And I'm also not asking a lot of profit from me. I just want the stuff to be loved by people, to be used by other people. So yeah, that's my purpose. And I also want to raise some fund for my free little library. If you know that, I give out things for free. And some charity sewings. I want, this done it with a bit of sustainable practice, because even I use my own material, everything, and I try to source free. It did cost to, for example, buying a good quality threads, because you don't want to use really old threads to sew bags. And yeah, there's some cost, hidden cost, and there's some, like, for example, maintaining a washing sewing machines costs almost $300, if anyone know. Yeah, and you have to spend time organized, and I also pay postage to send the charity stuff to Newcastle. So yeah, all this is out of my pocket, and I don't mind to do that. I want something to support things as a going business. So yeah, I that's what I learned, all this new stuff, and also listing in Facebook Facebook Marketplace, see what what people think, because you don't know what you can get until you try this. So I want to try it. I have to give myself a little bit confident and brave myself to try something that I don't dare to try in the past. Yeah, and if you ask me how much I sell, I only sell $7, $5 each, because yeah, I'm not really aiming for making a lot of money, but I want some yeah, some fun going to my other charity sewing. And I also have planned to make more library bag for children, because I recently got a bunch of free fibers from a kind lady locally. There's a lot of interesting farm theme, animal theme prints. I think that's perfect for children. Even my daughter's graduated from preschool and she's moving to big school. I know there's a great demand of library bag in different school, and I also want to continue supports my daughter's preschool in the long run. I love the teacher there. I have a really great time working with the teachers, and I have great time working with the children. I love to go back to teach the children, even my daughter is not among them. And I also want to sew some bag that I can donate to them every year. So that's my plan, and I have a lot of plans in my mind. I really want to do many things, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure whether I can do that, but that's my plan. Okay, yeah. I don't know what it will look like after my daughter go to big school. Whether it will be busier, or whether I will have more time. So I didn't promise, promise a promise. But I just something I want to do. I really enjoy this stitching and see the subtle change of this beautiful pink. Beautiful. I'm amazed to see all these scraps, just a small bunch of scrap that can make into things that large, that it can make into a bag. And I still have a lot of scraps. You never ran out of scraps. So do we need more? No, we don't need more. when I learning the eBay and or different selling platform, I find out that it's hard to define things that handmade are art or not. Like my husband say that he reckon I could never sell this for big dollars because it's not art. But what is art? What is just handmade everyday use? For example, you use some beautiful fibers and then you sew with the machines and make them into, for example, the same zipper pouch or bag. And and like me, that I spend many hours stitching and making same zipper bag. So which one is art and which one is just handmade item? And are they both handmade item that have the same value? Or I'm not saying that my stuff is art, but it just what is the definition? What is the things that we define whether it's an art or just a handmade item? It's just really hard, isn't it? So that's what I find out. It's hard to define. Same that is hard to define things that we do, whether it's a hobby, whether it's an art practice, whether it's a professional. Can I say that I'm hand stitching professional? It just sounds really weird, but what makes one not just a hobby, not just a sideline? Like for me, I have a full-time job. I'm of course not earning anything from my craft, but to me it's not just a hobby. It is something more than a hobby, because a hobby that can be anything that you like soccer ball, you do hiking or walking or running or swimming as hobby, and you can have so many hobbies, but not all of them can be called something that you're passionate with. For me, I have a lot of hobby. I enjoy everything, yeah. Even things that I'm not familiar with, but I love to see things and learn new things. Nothing will bore me. But are they all of my passion? No. The passion is the things that I'm doing now. I know that because I know that from my heart. For years and years, I have so many hobbies that I'm trying to find something that I'm really passionate with, so I can do it for the rest of my life. There one time that I spent a lot of time working on my garden. I buy a lot of exotic plant and really determined to grow a lot of weird stuff in my garden. And I'm so obsessed of doing that I keep working on the land until the day that I give birth. So imagine that I'm 10 months, like I'm pregnant with my daughter, and I'm still using those heavy garden tool to work on the land, work on the soil. And I bend down to pull all the weeds and I do mulching, everything when I'm pregnant. So I'm that crazy. Even after I give birth, I'm still doing very heavy labor work, mulching and growing vegetables. So I think that is my passion. That is passion that I can do until my old age. So I continue my self-sufficient craze, and later I add the chicken. I have six chicken, really determined to self-sufficient on at least egg. And during the time is the pandemic, and then a post-pandemic, but yeah, I'm quite happy because I have all the foods at home. And after the pandemic, and I start beekeeping. That's a total disaster, which give me a warning, and tell me not everything that I want to do can be a success. And since then, I start to realize working on my garden and try to be self-sufficient is things that I really want to do, but it's not a passion. It's not a passion, and it's not a things that I can do until I 80, 90 years old. And also after I give birth, my body is not as strong as before. Admit it or not, I just couldn't do those heavy labor work. So yeah, so gardening is out. And since and for one time that I think reading and writing is my passion, because since I'm a little girl, I don't have toys. I only read as the recreations activity. My father is a reporter, editor of a local newspaper, so and he loved reading, and he read a lot of Western literature. So I'm lucky that I've been exposed to that, and I read heaps of books there since I'm a little girl. I still remember that I read and I don't want to sleep. So reading give me power. Reading really spends my mind, and later help me to anti brainwash, because I've been educated under the influence of Western literature, Western culture. But is this my passions? I've been doing that. I read like crazy right till I give birth. But since then, I don't have any time at all. And only until recently, I slowly start picking up reading. Reading, I love reading, and I will never give up anything for reading. So it can be my passion. It is, but but from my heart, I know it is half passion, because it's more like a recreation for me, something that I do in my spare time, and I'm so delighted. I really enjoy doing that, but it doesn't require too much skill from me. I'm not sure how to explain. Writing is another way that I express myself. I did write a lot of book review in my early days, but this is not, how can I say, while it's not as original as things that I create now. And then I thought, is it drawing and painting my passions? Because this is my natural talent. I never have any lesson or have any professional training in drawing or painting, but I could do that really, really well, and I got a lot of competition rewards when I'm in China. Since very young age, I draw a lot until until I became a mom. I do want to pick up that, but somehow drawing and painting no longer a tool for me to express and explore art. Stitching and hand sewing has opened another door for me, and it is almost like needle is my paintbrush, that I'm able to continue painting and drawing with different media, fibers and threads, and this give me more pleasures than the paper and pen. I don't know why. I think maybe that's the beauty of life. Things evolve without you realize that it has changed. And life has changed. The life pattern and life content have changed. And I'm shifting the focus from on myself and shifting to a child, shifting to a family, but at the same time the things that I'm passionate with, the things that I like, also shifting. Years ago, I will never ever have the patience to sit down and stitch. My mom has tried to teach me sewing and crochet, but how could I listen to her? I couldn't even sit still. There's so many things to do. Why should I spend time on stitching and but things change, and that's why people will change. People is evolving, so it's not sometimes that when I look back, things became ridiculous. If you remember, the days that the teacher asked you to have career planning. So they ask you, what's your planning? What's your expectation after you graduate? Do you want to do engineering? Do you want to do reporter? Do you want to do this and that? What industry you want to work on? During that time, I never do any planning. I think it's ridiculous to plan anything that not happening. And how can I know whether I like doing certain things before I actually doing it? So it's pretty ridiculous to have plans for future. You cannot even plan for things that are happening next week, because things change all the time. You just don't know. I think it's more instead of planning, it's more important to learn how to be flexible, how to adapt it to any change quickly and gratefully. We don't have this kind of educations. All the education and schooling is well planned and well managed. So that's why some of the young people, when they get into society, that actually engaging in real life, they are panic. They don't know what to do. They got depressed. They got confused, and they are under peer pressures, and they try to do everybody's doing, and they still can't fit. Yeah, because all the time that we haven't been encouraged to find out and think what we are passionate with. It's such a blessing to find a passion that you can devote your life and you can work the whole life to just for something that you're passionate with. For example, like some people like very passionate about wild animal, and they can spend years and years in a while to capture some image of the animal. I think that is passion. And like people who do mountain climbing, they risk their life, but they every day they try to break through for their limits, and they are not achieving to be compete, but they are compete with themselves. They like to achieve their better self. So every day is a challenge, and it's also a opportunity for people who have passion to break through, to achieve better. So the nowadays educations didn't promote thinking or promotes opportunity for us to seek what we are passionate with. I think that's the problem. So in my 30s, 40s, I'm glad that I find my passions. I know this is a passion for me because I can do it regardless what happened. I can do it even it doesn't bring any money to me. I do it with such a joy that I want to tell people and teach other people how to do it. And I don't even mind to talk to people, even I'm an introvert person. And because I love doing that, I have started learning so many new things, and things that I never think about in old days. So yeah, but I am an oddball because one, that I'm been like searching an answer for many years, and two, I was raised in a family who allows me to have a bit of chance to make mistake, because I think my fathers really believed that every experience is worth taking. So it's he that encouraged me to study in Australia, and it's he that encouraged me to stay in Australia. And he, during the year I'm studying in Australia, he sent me many letters. He never that kind of person who expresses himself like love, care, but he wrote me many letters to encourage me. He listened to all my complaint about how hard I work, how hard the study is, how upset I am finding jobs, but he always supports me. And until I eventually find the jobs, and then I got stuck, and I feel that I'm suffocated. Being work 6-7 days a week, I'm suffocated. And it is he that supports my decision to work part-time for quite a while. And when I mentioned to him that I really don't want to work the rest of I don't want to work till my 60. I want early retirement so I can do more stuff that I like. He supports me. As a lot of Chinese parents, they don't support a decision like that because they think money is the king. They want their children to be success and make more and more money and buy up more and more property. But my father support me. He always say, yes, yes, we have enough, and it's okay not to, not to earn so many money, but having time for yourself, for your body, and do some exercise and relax. He think time is more important, happiness and health is more important than money. That is really, really strange. So yeah, so that's why I always have a plan of early retirement, because I don't afraid, because I have a family support. And I think 2-3 years ago I had a strain thought that I want to give out the stuff that I hand make to random people, and then I put a table out to give out for free, and doing a bit of a free little library. And my dad supports me, and what he say is, yes, that's right, you have so many support and help in Australia, people are kind to you, and yes, it is time that you can give back, and you can, keep doing the things that you like, at the same time giving back to whoever likes your stuff. He's just amazing. When I'm a child, I thought my dad is just demon, because he kind of like, don't allow me to eat snacks, don't allow me to watch TV, don't allow me to talk to friends in the phone. It's just really, really strict. And he didn't give any pocket money to me. But when I'm getting older, I kind of like understand why, the benefit of doing this. So even he doesn't control me anymore, I don't want to eat snacks, I don't want to eat sweets. I have a very good habit of taking care of myself, taking care of my eyes, my teeth, yeah, and have a really good routine. I sleep early, wake up early. All this have to be built in a young age. Otherwise, it's just hard to change, because my husband is the opposite of me. And also years later, I realized my dad is such an open-minded person. When he see LGBT movement, when we talk about that, he say, oh, that's really good that the same sex have love, and they can be together with anyone as long as they're happy. I have to tell you, not every Chinese parents can be that open-minded with same-sex relationship, but he said this is a good thing, and he's happy that people can do it. Oh no, that's really opened my mind. Yeah, so I'm fortunate enough to grow up a family with a bit of open-minded. That's why I focus my energy on self-reflection, like thinking something that people won't get chance to think. Or maybe this is the problem. My problem is always thinking. And what's the use of thinking? But I did get a really good balance of my life work. I didn't expect much from my work, but at the same time, I live pretty well, because I have a healthy money habit. I don't waste money on buying things, and I'm been able to live whatever I like I'm being honest to myself, so I don't need to please anyone. So I only follow my heart. so I don't have a peer pressure. Even nowadays, that there's a lot of pressure from other parents. For example, they will tell you, hey, that school is the best, that Catholic school is the best in the area, then you should send your child to there, or you should get your child to play the musical instrument, or you should send your daughter to learn Chinese, this and that, I'm not listen to that. No, 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 don't tell me what to do. I'm my own boss. You are not. Yeah, but I respect what other people say, but I'm not going to change anything. No, I have my own mind, I know what is good and what is not good, and I know what my child wants. As long as she grew up to be healthy, happier, friendly, being, yeah, that's the most essential thing, right? I would love my child to have a bit of time to think, on her own, than, going all sort of class, tutorial, teaching, activity that people put things in her mind. It's good to have a bit of self-echo. I truly believe that if you give a bit of freedom for children to do their own thing, they can do it really well. Same as, how to get them practice the bicycle. You can just bring them to a place that there's no traffic, no not many people, but a huge place without any market path, so they can start doing the bicycles, and they can go any direction, and yeah, they can do it by themselves. So from myself, that I have a bit of reflection how I should behave when I raising my child. It doesn't mean that I'm right, but I do try my best. And believe me or not, children love me. I don't know why children love me. Years ago, I stay in a family. There's a it is a friend of my mom's friend's friend, so it's acquaintance, I think. That lady run a childcare, a family daycare in Leaf Grove, a Blue Mountain. So I went there, stay for a week, and during that week, I help her to play with the children. It is a hard job, like, all these little babies suddenly pull and have all this pull over their body. Is I'm shocked. I feel horrible at the time, but I do sit down and talk to them and play with them, and children love me. And their auntie say, "Oh, I think you are really good at, working with children. I think you should maybe work on childcare, that kind of stuff." But I'm come here to study accounting. No, and I don't think I like children at the time. So yeah, I just think that's a funny saying that I like children. How could I like children? I don't even have a children at the time. I think I am the children. But years later, when I finally have my child, and I know she's right. I have a colleague that he already left. He's a truck driver. Cause years that he tell me that, oh Liz, you should have a child. You can be a perfect mother. You are born to be a mom. I'm like, what the hell? I'm not. I don't like children. I hate when they're screaming. I've been like telling people that I don't want children. But when I tell him that I finally give birth to a girl, and then he say, "See, I told you, you could be a good mom. Like, see what you know. I'm sure you'll be a good mom because you have your own thoughts and you always do the best, whether in the job or in your personal life. So I'm really touched. I'm so thankful that he said that. I'm so thankful that people stood with me even I change my mind all the time, from not having children to have children. People support me all the time. All these kindness I got, from work, from my personal life, from random people. They understand it. They're not judging me. And they give me confidence to be a mom because it's such a big deal. I don't think everyone born to be mom or perfect mom. It is things that we have to learn and keep improving ourselves. And there's so many things that we never know about. You will never get told how to be a good mom in school, right? So you have to learn all this from zero. So I pick up my mom jobs really well, really quick. And when my child's getting to a bigger age, I felt finally I could use what I'm good at, which is talking and teaching. Because I like talking to children. I like to engage with them in conversations. Even my English is not perfect, but I understand children's perfectly. Even English is not my first language. Sometimes I did have to ask them twice, like, what you talking about? But I'm patient, I'm listening, and I just, yeah, truly enjoy playing with them. That's why the children love me, because I pay them full attention. So sometimes I see parents, so focusing on testing or, looking at their cell phone, and their children begging and begging their parents to play with them. I feel sad because, yes, parents are busy, but for 5-10 minutes full attention, it's not that hard. Nothing is that important to give a child's full attention for 5-10 minutes. And I always found that easier to deal with them if you give them full attentions for a period of time. Then they will feel happy and satisfied. They can even play by themselves for the rest of the time. Yeah, but not many people learn how to pay full attentions to others or even to themselves. We can't do things half-heartedly, or nowadays it's so emphasized on multitask and handle things with efficiency. But we need to be focused. We need to focus on something. Otherwise, everything is done, but done it without, much quality or consequence. I once read a post in Facebook, a mom asking questions, say, oh, I already set up a beautiful toy corner with, toy. I did rotate the toy. So I encourage the child to play by himself in the toy corner, but he never play by himself. He just want me to play with him and never touching those toys. It's so interesting to read the comments, but I think the main problem is children are seeking attention instead of playing Toys is just something could be live without. You set up a magical place for them, but they don't play. It is because they want to be with you and they want to spend time with you. But because we are so busy that we don't want to spend time with them, we want them to play the toys and we want them to watch the TV. So that's the problem, that time became so precious that no one wants to give them without conditions. So sometimes I thought it is something that we, how to say, the life that we're living in modern society might not be right. There's something that we miss and something that we all been doing but not necessarily are correct. That's why I always have a question mark of what other people say and what the authority say. It might be not correct. It might be not something that you want. So you have to figure out all this. So when I'm dealing with my child, I rarely say things like you should do that, you shouldn't do that, or black and white. I don't talk like that. I don't really criticize that. Hey, you didn't do that. How could you not doing that? You shouldn't do that, and you should do this. I never talk like that. It's not my way of talking. I would explain to them that I think there benefit that you do this. For example, I think because you're tired, you're sick, it might do you good if you have a nap. And she'll say, no, I don't want to have a nap. I want to play. And I'll give her the options that you can play for certain minutes, then you can come to have a nap with me, or you're going to the library with your daddy and you're going to read the books. But you can't have your snack. You can't watch your TV. And she will know how to choose. It's just a sample, not necessarily that I do this, but giving them the options and asking them why we have to do certain things. And you can, when they say no, and you can ask them then, what's the solution? Tell me, what is the best way? Can you figure out some better idea than my idea? And yeah, they will use their clever little brain to figure out something. There's once that my daughter, she say, oh, Santa didn't give me present last year. And then I asked why. Did you make wishes? And she said, yes, I make a lot of wishes. I make a lot. And I say, wow, that's a problem. Santa's couldn't figure out which one is your best wishes, And then she said, oh, but I can share all this with my friend. And I say, yeah, that's a really beautiful idea. But if you really want something, then you had to tell Santa. Otherwise, he couldn't bring everything in his sack, And you really need to think about one thing that you really want this year. So it's just conversations that in my daily life. I try to get her to think by herself. Something that come with condition, but we can't like bargain with them. I never bind them to do housework. For example, give them $2 to get rid of the rubbish. No, that's not supposed to be. But I did give them options that whether you would want to have certain parts, and she chose washing the car. So washing the car became her favorite task. So we both don't have time to wash cars, so it's pretty dirty. But since she take on board this job, she do that very good. So she wash regularly of our 2 cars, and she do this so professional that she even bring a chair to climb up and, you know, use a special glove to wipe the upper part, and then use the water can to clean that. So yeah, I didn't force her to do any housework, but I did ask her to choose which work that she want to do. So she want to do the washing, washing dishes, washing the car, watering the gardens, but she doesn't want to you know sorting out the rubbish, and she's a bit lazy on gardening, so that's fine, and she never want to do washing or hand out the washing. I think that's the part that she doesn't enjoy, but it's okay that I give her choice and she can pick the housework that she like. I think it's the same for grown-ups, that not everyone love washing, but there's people there who love washing, so we kind of like have to pick up the task that we most enjoy or most good at. Okay, so I have done the stray stitching of this main body, and I'm going to work on the flat. I really enjoy this chit chat while I stitching, because sometimes, oh, don't get me wrong, sometimes I love to work in absolutely quiet. That's why there's some video it doesn't have any sounds but only music. But time that like now in daytime, that no one around me, then I would love to talk, because talking to myself or talking to the camera have the same effect that like what I did years ago, that writing a blog, that through expressing that I'm able to understand myself better, have a bit of clearer thoughts, and sort out my emotions better. If I keep busying every day without have a bit of time to reflect, then things won't get changed. That's my ways of relaxing, I think. And it could be the way to practice my English, if have to think of a reason. No, I'm not come here to practice my English, just joking. But it's good to have a bit of chit chat while we're doing some quiet work. I believe a lot of you being like do your own craft quietly in your own corner, and not everyone has crafty body nearby, and you want someone to understand what you're doing. Because same like me, I never talk about the things that I did with my husband. It's just useless. We talk about things like movie or planning something, and how we share the responsibilities, but we don't talk about things that we like to do. Yeah. If you don't have the same hobby with your family member, I think the best action is to stay away and just being respectful and quiet supporting, and that's enough. You don't need to engage with them. Sometimes I feel a bit annoying when my husband enter my room when I do stitching, because sometimes the threads can go very long and I pull the needle and stretch my arm, and then he will say, "Oh, whoa, 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 be careful, it's almost sticking to me." And I feel so annoying, like feel that all my joy has been spoiled, and I didn't ask you to enter into my temple, and how dare you say that my needle is sticking to you? I don't care. And you know the attitude that he has, like all the time, that oh, that needle, that pin, oh, your pin is on the floor, how, what if, you know, our daughter step on it, or that kind of thing. I just so annoying. I would rather him just go away, don't look at it, you know. You don't need to say that kind of thing. I know he doesn't mean to, like, to any ill purpose, but I just find it really annoying. I just want a peace and quiet, and I can pull my needle to whatever directions I want. So a lot of people, you know, do hand stitching in front of the TV or in front of computer. I don't. Because one, I don't watch TV, and if I ever watch movie with my husband, because he want me to do that, to watch movie with him, so we have a big connection, I can't do stitching because he's so nervous beside me. He always afraid that I will stab the needle to his eye, and you know, it looks like a live death to me with the needle. But excuse me, or the needle, you can check, you know, the rate of people die from needles compared to the people who die in a car accident or just walking on the road. I don't understand. You know, some people just couldn't get over the fear of needles, and yeah, you can never really force them to accept it. But needle is the safest thing I ever see. You can do so many things with just needle. If you want to do any harm to others, I think the garden tool can be more efficient. Look at all those garden tools. Everything can be a weapon. So whoever break into my house and trying to harm me, then I can go grab the gardening tool, and here I go. No, 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 I shouldn't talk things like that. I just want to say needle is very safe if you know how to handle it. That's what I want to say. Don't get me wrong. What should I use for this side? What color should I use? Thinking. Decision. Okay, I made the decision to use this orange. Is it orange? Because it's kind of like reflect the color of the orange piece, and it is the color that I not usually use, but I want to use here, and I want to use this side, and here I probably will keep it as white. Let's see. Nothing decide until I actually get to the stage. I think this color looks good because it's not too obvious on the red piece, but it did stand out. If I use this color on this side, so the color won't stick out. And I love to show the stitching. It's because beautiful. This became my style because yeah, I love to add all these decorative stitches after the patchwork. I really don't like the machine stitch line because I don't know how to explain. It just doesn't look good to me. So that's why I like to add the hand stitches and hold down the whole piece, not just the seam. So the whole things have a nice texture. It's hard to explain to people who never see it or touch it, because it's the beauty of it is while you touch it, you will know why it's different. The texture is totally different to the machines make it stitches. So that's the beauty of the hand stitching, and I just enjoy doing it. That's my passion. I always feel a bit of sad when I approaching the end of stitching. It means something finish, something that I really enjoy finish, and then it looks like, oh, you know, I have a baby and then I have to send the baby away. Not necessary that I, you know, will give that away, but it just, when you're finishing, it means it's ending. The ending always makes me sad. Okay, so these two parts are done, and I will work on the center, so the stitching parts will be done. You can see I have been making this sort of pouch many times, but if you look carefully, each one have different patterns. That's why I love to try small variations from the base of my usual style and see how things look with a little bit difference. That's what I like to do. So yeah, I've been making it and making it. Sometimes my husband will come by and say, "Oh, you're recording," and I wonder who will look at things like that. It's just repeating stitching. I don't know how to answer him, because I don't know whether any people watching it or enjoying it. Because when I enjoying it, doesn't mean other people will enjoying it. And I don't know whether my chit chat will be too annoying, or people come to listen to my chit chat. I don't know. You can tell me, but I'm not going to change. Nah. But it's funny that even my husband doesn't understand what I'm doing. He's kind of like very like, she like to tell people that I have a YouTube channel. I don't tell many people that I have the YouTube channel, because I don't want to bother people. I don't want to force people, my friend, to watch my crafty stuff, because I know not all of them like doing this kind of thing, so I don't force people to watch. And I don't want my people in my workplace to know too much about it. Not because I'm too ashamed to admit that I'm making video or doing hand stitching, but I don't want them to misunderstand that I didn't focus on my work but doing something other. Yeah, who knows? The reason that I'm very careful of not letting people in workplace know the things that I'm doing, that even is harmless, even that I do in my spare time, that I don't want anything bad happen. Because let me tell you a story. I have a really bad experience from a people in workplace. She is a Chinese. She worked in a how to say it, like it is almost 10-20 years ago. So one day there's a new college, and she's a Chinese, and she loved to talk to me. And okay, so I talked to her, and because we taking the train from the same train station, so sometimes we walk together and talk a little bit, and I treat her like friends, not best friend, but I treat her with the best intentions. Even when she's buying house and find mortgage, find broker, asking me also question, I help her as much as I can. But what happened is I work better than anyone in the team, and of course I'm work better than her. And somehow she get jealous, and she really want to I can say get rid of me. She want to get rid of people that she thought is her competitions, because she really work pretty slow, and I probably make her look worse. so she want to get rid of me. So she start recording in her little notebook when I go to toilet, how many times I go to toilet, how much time that I spend in toilet, and what time that I look at my phone, what time that I look at internet that not work related, because when I finish my work I will just randomly look at my internet, but just for a few minutes. It's just normal, right? And occasionally looking at my cell phone is not a crime. But she record all this, and then so one day she bring all her evidence to the big boss, the boss who control Australia, and tell him, the big boss say that I'm doing something really bad. I've used the work hours to do this, and I, and it make a big deal. And she yelling at me like crazy, like accusing me I'm doing the harm of company. I'm like, what the you talking about? At the end, I say, wow, you can check my computer. You can check what I'm looking at. Yeah, so you will see how much time I spend on internet, and even I watch, scroll and look at the internet. It doesn't affect my job. I work I work like twice compared to other people. So why you accusing me, and why you checking on me like policeman? I don't deserve to be monitor like that. I accept monitor, or checking, or evidence and finding it from my boss, from my supervisor, but not from whoever worked the same job like me. No, I don't accept that. So at the end, guess what happened? She get a warning. Our boss tell her to be off, and he tell her that if you have time to record and write down what your colleagues doing, then you can have more time to finish your bloody job. So yeah, she got the warning, and she never dared to do that to me, but she did that to the other colleagues, and even to people who, when she changed job to the other companies. The same technique, same thing happen again. But after the incident, I'm sick of working with her. Even I annoying her that she always give me the look that I'm watching you, that I'm really sick of it. Now imagine that you go to toilet and you have to self-reflection that you shouldn't spend too much time here because people watching you. It's just not healthy condition. And at the end, I applied for another job in the other department, and I work in this department since then for another 13 years. I'm really happy because people understand me. Even my boss told me that I don't care whether you look at website or doing personal stuff, as long as you finish your job. I don't care. I know what happened to you by the other lady, but I trust you can do your job good. I accept your application because I know you work really well. So that's quite I'm quite touched. I'm thankful that my boss always know me and trust me. But I do be careful when I dealing with people in workplace, especially Chinese people. I'm not against Chinese people. I'm from China, but I have to not telling them everything I do, and it's just self-protection because I don't anyone to use anything against me, and I don't want that drama happen again. You don't know what happened. I come from that country. I don't know. I know, the mentality, that lady who do something bad on me. For years and years, China's been tracked into this kind of mentality that you can only be success if you win and you hit down your enemy. Everyone is something against you. It's just hard to get some Chinese people change their mindset to accept the fact that there's win-win, there's winning through cooperation, through working together. You don't lose anything, even you share or work with others. There's a lot of historic problems. It's sad. And that's why we tend not to place 100 trust on people who come from the same country as we are. Friends then will be easier because we don't have conflicts of interest, but people in workplace is another story. But sometimes I think it's useless to try to change the mind of these sort of people, and you can't really expect they will change. And the only thing you can do is run from them, run from the negativity, run from anyone who want to harm you or belittle you. And you have to trust yourself that you have the energy, you have the power to fight for yourself. Same as that I fight for myself, that because I didn't do anything wrong, and you can do everything, but I'm not going to live in the fears that you impose on me. But thanks for these ladies, her ill intentions on me. I'm able to push myself to change the direction of my work, and I'm able to do something that I more enjoy. And without her, then I probably can't have the dream job that I have nowadays. Since then, she moved on because she know no one's like her. Not every single one of people in the company like her, because she's so fake that people laugh at her. Even she trying to be friend with everyone, people just laugh at her back. So sad, isn't it? And then he changed company, and because this is a small industry, people still talk. Everyone knows what she did, and and then she moved on and on. I don't know where she was working, but I hope she's kind of like know from her lessons, then just mind your own business, and you don't need to win by hurting others. Who knows? I don't deal with her anymore. I don't even want to see her. There's once that I meet her in the grocery shops. She dared to come to me and say hello. I know, like we should forgive PayPal. We should, give more love and forgiveness, but I don't forgive her. I won't do the same ill behavior to her, but I will avoid her because I don't like her. Why should I like the enemy? Why should I give my left face to people who slapped me on my right face? I don't believe this is right. I think we should, stick our grounds. Yeah, we don't find back, but we can walk away. We don't need to, pretend that we are so good that we can forgive people who hurt you, isn't it? I don't forgive her. This is a thing that I will never ever forget. And I will teach my child to protect herself if she ever see people like that. This is people that we should avoid and don't waste time with. So I finished this coating and I decided to add the fiber yo-yo here because I'm thinking that when I close like that, it will look good. Oh, the sunshine's come out and looks a bit dodgy. Anyway, I finished it and I hope you enjoy my chit chat and see you next time. Bye.